Okay, part
Take two.
Welcome back, Stead.
Thank you.
Thank you very
There's a
great,
long break.
great chat on the Hawthorn days. Fantastic.
Superb.
Let's rip into Blackburn, Stead. So 1964 was your last year at Hawthorn.
Yeah.
How did you find your way to Blackburn in 1965? And you're only in your mid-20s, so you at your peak. What happened? How did you get to Blackburn?
Blackburn came to me, approached me,
Right.
and I just said yes.
Anyone in particular that you can recall?
I'm not too sure of the committee that was there. I presume Bobby Hoskin and
Red Stacker, was he?
he would have been definitely one of them, the fruiterer.
Yes. Oh, the fruiterer. Okay, right.
He
Didn't
was
know
the
that.
fruiterer at the fruit shop.
Yes.
And maybe Bobby Pruden, he might have been a bit later.
Right. So they've come to you and
They
basically,
come to me
and-
and asked me, did I want to coach or something?
yep, captain coach.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
Um,
So I said, yep.
can I ask? And I think you might have indicated that the coin at Blackburn was better than what you were getting at Hawthorn.
Yes.
You able to sort of expand it? How much were?
I've tried to think.
Yep.
It keeps coming up at 1,000.
£1,000 probably for
What
It
in
would
pound?
have to be then.
Yeah.
Now, that would have been a
That
lot
was
of money.
that was
Now, whether that's correct or not, it was definitely not more.
right. I think you said for the grand final at Hawthorn you got paid £25. Is it? Or 50?
I got £75 extra on the year's pay for the final series, I think.
Right. Okay. All right. So it was a very attractive monetary offer to go and coach at a suburban level.
And I just wanted to play, not necessarily coach, I just wanted to play.
Did you live in that area or not?
We had built a house at Ferntree Gully.
Okay.
And I think at the time we're building and I was living at the mother-in-law's at Burwood.
Yes. Okay. And you told me that before the season or before your career at Blackburn started, it almost finished because of a workplace
gone.
accident.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
happened there?
I was working at a foundry, Sunshine Harvesters, out at Sunshine, and I was squashed with a overhead mobile crane,
Jesus.
and I'm 30 feet up in the air or something,
Yes.
and that wasn't good.
And I think you said that you went to the Hawthorn doctor,
Doc Fergie came
Fergie.
to the house at Burwood, and he said he'd never play footy again.
Right. I think he might have been wrong, given that you went on to play until you were about 50, Steve.
Yes, he was wrong at that time, but
Lucky to be alive.
The first aid and that out at the foundry and that's all I was going to.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're lucky to be alive. That's
Got me into the ambulance. I couldn't breathe, couldn't anything.
right.
But you boys, the way you look, if you look at my shoulders now, I've got one shoulder a bit wider than the other.
Yeah, I can see that.
This one, it's about 40 inch and a half shorter than the other one.
Yeah.
So I had a collarbone, 5 ribs, and inside squashed up.
Right.
Just missed my head.
Wow.
My head was just able to get away from it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was in a foundry, it was noisy, and the machinery was supposedly shut off and somebody had switched one on.
Right. Okay. Lucky you got to Blackburn and you're still with us. So
Yeah.
What's-
So Hawthorn then sent some players to take training.
yes.
And I think Peter O'Donoghue, who later coached Hawthorn,
Yes.
he took training one night.
Oh, Blackburn training.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, went to training.
That's good, isn't it?
Yes, I thought that was pretty good. I never knew of this because I wasn't too good. Then when I came back, I took training then, and about 6 weeks after the accident, I played.
Right. Well, when
I
you
wasn't confident.
because you've never coached before.
No.
So coming to Blackburn, what was your philosophy? Was it the John Kennedy style of coaching, or how would you describe yourself?
All I wanted, my main thing at the time, was to get them fit.
Yes.
I wanted them fit, and once we're fit, then we could try and work things out. But I was always the way I didn't try and inhibit all the skills that the boys had.
Yep.
Players like Alan Peach and then when he came into the side, they played their game, and that's what I wanted.
Yes.
As long as they were fit and then able to play their game, I thought we had a chance.
Yep.
So that's the way I took it.
So you weren't were a disciplinarian type coach, or?
Training, yes.
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 I think you told me that when you first got there and you laid out the rules, there might have been a couple of blokes who decided that wasn't for them and they
There was
disappeared.
a couple, yes,
Yep.
yeah. I told them that I don't know, unfortunately I don't know anyone at the club, but as you train and as you do in the practice matches, that's how you earn your Guernsey.
Yes.
Everybody's lost their Guernsey from last year, you got to earn it again,
Yes.
because I was new.
No matter who you were.
That's right.
Yep.
And there was a couple that had played regularly.
Yep.
And didn't like that idea. They wanted to come to training when they were ready, and so they missed out.
Right.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
And the 60s was very much a decade of our juniors coming through, because I noticed we won a lot of under 15, under 16, under 17
Yes.
flags. Some really good players coming through, the likes of Rod Appleton, Brian Wood, Ray McMahon, Ian Scrimshaw.
Yes.
Were all coming through the juniors during your time there.
Yes. Peach,
Alan Peach, of course.
Yeah. The Cullens.
The Cullen brothers.
Yeah.
Bobby, Ian, Peter, and young Tommy was coming through at the time.
Yeah.
What do you remember of the Cullen boys? They,
Yeah. Peter was a half-back flanker. He's a quiet sort of lad, but he played a good game of footy.
yes,
Bobby was more of a utility. We played him sort of as a utility.
yes,
And played some good footy too. Ian had some games in the seniors, but generally I think he played in the reserves.
in the reserves. I saw that he won a Resi's Best and Fairest,
Yes,
I think in your time there. So,
Yeah.
and the reserves were very strong. I think we
Yes.
might have won 3 or 4 flags during the 60s as well. So
He did well.
certainly a lot of strength coming through. Well, while we're on that, I think a couple of players in your time made the team of the century. Robin Smith was
Yes.
centre half back. What sort of player was he,
He
Steve?
played centre half back. I think in the team of the century as a half back flanker.
Yes.
He's a real. You just put him there,
Yep. And he did the job.
and he did his job.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you being a half back flanker, you probably had a soft spot for the half back flankers, maybe.
Yeah, but he was centre half back. But yeah, no, he did a good job.
Okay. And what about your brother Phil, of course?
Yes.
He, I think, came to Blackburn in '67. How did Phil come across? Was there a bit of a get him on brother rates, or
No, it just happened. I
just
think.
happened?
Just one of those things that happened.
Right.
I don't think there's much in the way of money or anything.
Okay. Not bad for a bloke who was runner-up in the Brownlow in '64.
Yes, yeah, but he hadn't done anything in between because of his back.
Yes. But he was good enough to win 3 Best and Fairest in a row.
Tell you what, he's a magnificent drop kick, I know that.
Yeah.
Both were.
I think I'm right in saying that you were captain coach except for 1 year, Stead, and I think Phil was captain in 1967. Was there a bit of a carrot to get him across, or was that not the case? Or
No. I'm not sure how that happened.
right?
He just wanted to play, I think, and it had come down.
Okay. Yep. Oh, but maybe the records are wrong, so we'll do some research on that.
Well,
Yeah. A couple of other players of the day, some players who went on to play a lot of footy. John Byrne.
yes,
You remember John? And
yes. John, in my time, was mainly in the seconds. He was captain of the seconds.
yes,
Was always there
always
for everything.
and
Yeah.
At the barbecue, at the drinks after, and he's a regular with his training and playing and all that sort of thing.
lived with his mother until he died, I believe.
In Station Street.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we lost him
We did.
on the way home from the pub.
Yes, outside the Blackie pub. Yeah. Another character of the club, the man who played the most games, Les Mooch Miller.
Yes.
You remember what are your memories of Mooch?
Yes. Les played a lot of footy.
Yeah.
400 and something, and
430 odd games.
yeah, I'm not sure whether that was all seniors, but
Yep.
it was.
No.
No,
No,
that'd be the twos.
Be a lot of
twos.
twos.
Yeah. Les was Les. It was
Yep.
always Les.
Yep.
I can remember one time where we were training and I had them jump on the fence. Just putting your hand and jumping over the fence and this is no good for me. you could get hurt. But that was just mooch.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't that he was complaining so much, it's just mooch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a natural.
Wasn't bad full forward at times.
Yeah. Left footer. Yep.
Good. Yeah, he played a lot at full forward.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yep. Georgie Kane, the man who built the canteen, I believe.
Yes, back pocket
back
player,
pocket, yep.
Georgie.
Yep.
Yes. Ever reliable again.
You mentioned Alan Peach. I mean, Peachy was silky smooth sort of rover,
Yes.
if my memory's correct.
I don't know what age he was. He's been playing in the under 16s, I think.
Yes.
And we brought him in, played him.
Okay.
I think I spoke to his dad. Was he happy with it? Or the committee did if I didn't.
Yep.
And we brought him in. I think we had Barry Doran, I think was the ruckman,
Right.
and he just tucked him under his arm
And looked after him.
Looked after him all the time.
Yep.
But he was a good player, Alan.
Okay. Yeah, he was. Great player. Now, off field, you mentioned Bob Hoskins and Red Stacker and some others. You told me you were quite amazed when you first got to Blackburn just how much it cost to run a club
Yes.
back in '65. And
Yeah. Sitting in the committee and that, and I thought, footy's finished if you're going to have to spend all this money all the time.
Right.
It'd cruel junior football and then consequently ruin the rest.
Yep.
But it's still surviving.
Yes.
But how they raised that money, I don't know.
Which is all through canteen sales and
Canteen, built the canteen to get the sales.
yes.
Bottled their bottles of red.
Yes.
And the ladies, Terry Kershaw's mum, I think she was in the canteen a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not, Bridport, I think might have been his mum, was in
Right.
the canteen a lot, yes.
Yes. And of course, one thing I realised in 1968 we changed the name from the Robins to the Panthers. Did you recall that? Did you have any involvement in that?
No.
No. What can you recall why we did that? Or- no. I was going to say the Panthers has got something a little bit better to it than the Robins.
Yeah.
We made two grand finals under your coaching stewardship, 1968-69. Lost both. Can you remember? I think one by a point to Vermont. Is that right?
Vermont, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your recollections of that
Boo.
particular day?
Oh, Vermont.
Hated back then as well, were they, Steve?
I was talking to a mate of mine after, and he'd been in the rooms at 3/4 time, and he went home. He thought we had it in the bag,
Yes.
and we finished up losing.
Where were you playing? Can you remember?
Mitcham.
Mitcham, right.
Mitcham. And right at the very end, I can remember Freddie Lyons was bending down to pick up the ball, and Taggart, who played for Port Melbourne, I think, beforehand,
Right.
kicked it right out of his hand through for a goal, or went for a point or whatever it was, and they won it.
Right.
But at the end of the game, I still thought we were in front until everybody was...
Told you otherwise.
When Vermont started cheering, I thought there's some...
Whoops.
I did honestly think we were still in front.
Right. Okay. That was in '68.
That was,
What about the following year? Can you recall who you played in '69?
No.
No. Okay. So two grand finals.
Was I still there?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were there till '71.
Okay.
Well, I think we started in 1970. We finished 5th. 1971 we finished 11th, which I think was around about the time that you started to pack your bags from Blackburn. I think you said to me that work was hard to get to coach. And,
Yes.
So how did that all sort of pan out towards the end?
Being a plumber, I was all over the place.
Yep.
And at the time, I was doing a lot of work there in Frankston and all those places, and it was hard to get home and then get to the club in time. We had players like Peachy and them that were coming straight from high school, and they
Yes.
wanted to train.
Yep.
And they were kids and they wanted to play footy.
Yep.
And the coach wasn't there,
Wasn't
doing
fair
it.
on them.
Phil did a bit for me. He filled in early times a lot for me.
Yep.
But I didn't think that was right. So I decided that I couldn't keep going. It wasn't fair to keep going. That's the way I looked at it.
Yep.
And then I thought I had such a good rapport, I felt,
Yep.
with everybody, that if I stayed, that if there's a new coach and I said something, they would lean to me and not give the new coach his fair run.
Yes.
So I then pulled out and went to play with Surrey Hills.
Surrey Hills, right. And you're only still 30, in your early 30s, I believe, when that happened. Yeah. You went on to play, I think you were saying you were still playing vets at the age of 50, so you just love playing footy.
But yeah, I like playing footy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Not good at it, no skills.
Oh, yeah,
You're right. Yeah,
I
okay.
just like playing footy.
just a good, reliable VFL premiership player, Stead.
Well, I was lucky, yes.
Yeah. Did you, just going over your time at Blackburn, you've obviously looked back quite fondly, I can tell.
Oh,
mate.
yes,
Yep.
yes, very fondly.
Yep.
Particularly, I've always said that a club's is only as good as the committee.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what sort of sport it is, it's only as good as the committee.
Yes.
And we had a good committee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you mentioned, some of those names, Bobby Hoskins and Harold Slater, Johnny Young
Yes.
was the secretary, Bobby Pruden,
Yep.
and there's a few more. But
So you always got supported by the committee as the coach.
they were good.
Yep.
Mick Mercer was very good on the boundary when I was on the field coaching.
Yep.
So we did pretty good.
Okay.
I had a lot of good memories at Blackburn.
Do you remember Ron Geezer-Reid at all?
I don't really.
No.
The name just reverberated round and round and round all the time.
Yep.
But I can't really remember even meeting Ron.
He did have a period there. I think he went to Richmond.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Sort of left Blackburn for a bit and concentrated on VFL footy. So a bit of a legend around the club.
Yes.
Now, given that he won't do an interview with me because I wanted him to talk about the 1950s.
Yes.
So, given that you've done this today, Stead, I reckon you'd be saying, "Come on, Geese, get in front of the camera. It's not hard, and tell us about your memories of the 1950s."
If I can do it, you can do it.
Exactly right.
Derm, have we missed anything?
I think we've covered everything, mate. It's just been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it certainly has. Stead, anything else you can add that you're thinking of that we might have missed?
Well, probably is, but
With all our guests, we normally, for an hour afterwards, they come up with a story. So, you've given us a couple of things to take away, which is fantastic. A 1957 a financial report and
His photo.
Stead, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you and for you to give us your memories of your days at Hawthorn and your days at Blackburn. Thank you very much, and we'll make sure that this gets posted up, and we'll make sure you get to see it. Thank you very much.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Ted. Tremendous.
I hope I haven't stood on anyone's toes
No.
or anything.
No, I don't. I'm sure you haven't, and we did say that, and I think you were more than happy when we get the new clubhouse up. We'll get you down there to get you back to Blackburn.
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thanks, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you.
Good on you.